Hey, how's it going, guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to talk about Anthem. So in this case, today marks the second anniversary for Anthem since its release back in the February 22nd, 2019. And you know what, I'm gonna say it up front. This game did not get much treatment, if at all, back then, and comparing it after 2 years now. The game is actually in a very bad shape as it is as in this moment, unfortunately. Now, sure, there are fun elements in why I stuck around and gearing up, and just I wanted to have a replacement of Destiny because back then I was really into Destiny as well. But yet, I was looking for something that could take away my time from Destiny, and I literally thought that Anthem could do that trick, because BioWare is a big name, right? So obviously I trusted BioWare at least to that degree. Even with Andromeda's release, I still wanted Anthem to thrive. But of course that never actually came into fruition, and instead it seems like the game, it doesn't seem to get any updates actually, because mind you, right, I have not played this game for the past 2 years. The last time I played was perhaps in maybe March, at the end of March 2019, so that's already makes it almost 2 years of my experience of Anthem. The game, when it launched at first, is such a buggy mess. The network, the codes and stuff has been issues after issues and such. Extremely loading screens, you have to wait it out and sit through. By the way, I'm playing this game on my PlayStation 5, and yet the loadings are still insanely long. That's just unbelievable. Now, we do know the reasons why BioWare had such trouble development with this game is mainly because of EA's prioritizing their engine to make sure that Anthem would get. And of course, Anthem never supported the division that it had with the terms of what the engine that they've been using. And right, they pretty much using the same engine as Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1 has been using it as well. And yet, looking at this and as such, right, Anthem still is just in a very bad shape. Now, we already know, right, because BioWare has been split apart to work on the next Mass Effect, the next Dragon Age 4 as well. And now, of course, they're very close and coming out of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition as well. But yet, you kind of would be expecting to see some kind of development, because we do know that there's about 30 people, developers I should say, that this, score team, skeleton team that's actually still working on Anthem. They also, about a year ago, has been announced that Anthem will be getting an overhaul by the name of Anthem 2.0, or how we know it's like Anthem Next. It's something similar to what the No Man's Sky had. And I'm not saying any sort of the resemblance and as such. Everything that's been implemented here is just nothing to a certain degree that that I would advise you to come back and at least try out the game. 100% this game does not deserve a full mark of being a full price game. Okay, this game is if you would want to buy just to experience the game, what it's about, because let me tell you, the ability usage, the flying are very good even till now, but they were already since the very beginning of the launched game basically. And so you kind of want to re-experience it at least sometimes, maybe not. That's really up to you, of course. Personally, for me, I've had my fun. Let me tell you, this gameplay that you're watching, it's just my first time actually playing this Stronghold, because they came out I believe a couple months later than when the Anthem released. And I never experienced it for myself since I abandoned the game by then already. And after coming back, trying out the Stronghold, it's same old, right? I tried to find through matchmaking the rest of the players and stuff, but there was just nobody there. So I ended up doing the whole Stronghold myself. Now I had to tone down the difficulty since I'm very rusty at the game, and the gameplay you're watching is my very first time playing the game since almost 2 years now. It's kind of unfortunate, it really is. You would be expecting big things out of there after so many games, but yet, it all depends right now how EA would go about the game. It's been announced, I shouldn't say announced, but as confirmed, it is more of a rumor, in fact, that Jason Schreier has mentioned that, some people have been talking about Anthem, meaning that the game may live or die, basically. And a lot of people say, just let Anthem die so the BioWare team will be able to concentrate on the rest of the projects. But my concern in this case, can you really trust BioWare to do any more? If you think about it, they failed with the Andromeda, they failed with Anthem. Why would you consider trusting them again with their next game, the next Mass Effect, the next Dragon Age 4? Now, Mass Effect Legendary Edition isn't exactly the same thing as, developing a big game from the ground up. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is basically a remaster that the team had to work on. The core of the best things about Mass Effect is already there. And can you still trust BioWare of actually pulling off big games like the next installments, Mass Effect, the next Mass Effect, presumably Mass Effect 4, if not, maybe the next Anthem 2.0, can you really believe that they will be able to pull it off? Like the next Dragon Age as well. It's just a lot of concerns, a lot of questions, and not enough answers. And yet, is EA really going to be seeing this as profitable for them to keep around Anthem and keep, holding on to the game just to be sure that they will be able to make it bigger, better, greater, right? Because the game, as of this moment as we're talking, is in a very poor state. Now, it can be fun. There are fun elements in this game I definitely can see and definitely can tell you. But after experiencing what I've experienced in here, this game still needs a long time development. And I'm talking about of its overhaul. Like, is it really done? Is it really going to be the thing that people were expecting, or at least a thing that's a live service at its best? Because like the very first live service game I personally thought that was actually done right at the get-go was The Division 2 I'm talking about. Now Borderlands, a lot of people may say Borderlands 3 was actually better, but again, I'm talking about a live service game. Okay, so The Division is considered a live service Borderlands, but at least personally to me it's not. Anthem was supposed to be a live service game as well, but look how that turned out to be, because worse than disaster. I'm still holding out at least a little bit of a hope to see if Anthem will be able to get some kind of overhaul or at least giant improvements, but I'm not holding my breath. At this point, I'm way more expecting EA to completely abandon Anthem. But if they don't, because mind you, they still will need triple the amount of size of the developers that are skeleton developers that are working on Anthem right now, because there's about 30 developers working on Anthem. But to make the overhaul, they need 3 times the amount, up to 90 to 100 people to make this thing possible. So the discussion is going on right now. We wouldn't know if Anthem is going to get much support, if it's going to get abandoned completely, or is there really going to be value of actually making this such changes? It's not necessarily changes, but overhauling the game. Is it really going to be profitable? And by the looks of things and how everything is indicating with the data and also the amount of money, the cash, the player comebacks, right? Is it really going to be worth it? EA will take a look at this. EA sees only money, and that's really it. It's pretty normal. It's company, it's business. It's understandable, even though it sucks. A lot of people may not want to hear this, but it's just the truth. It's just a harsh truth. And I personally think more than that, I would even say 85%, I think that the game's gonna get completely abandoned, and the rest of the developers, the 30 developers that were working on this game, are gonna get moved towards the next Mass Effect or the Dragon Age 4. Again, we don't know how everything's gonna turn out, but I'm sure that Jason Schreier will actually update us with this information, or at least we'll find out more in some ways or some other ways, however we can find out, of course. Guys, I understand that this commentary was a little bit more of a conversation than providing proof and seeking information or whatnot, just to see if the game's actually going to be coming back, or if it will be coming back. Again, I just want to have a conversation. 2 years since Anthem's release, and yet it's still in such awful shape. It's just incredible, and not in a positive light. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys again And yeah, have a good one.